Hello everyone, hope you are good enough. So today we are going to start with properties of greatest integer function and fractional part function simultaneously. So let's start. First property is, it's not a property in fact, since we already know box x is nothing but it's an integer. It's an integer, got it? And fractional part of x, the outcome of fractional part of x always lies between 0 and 1 and 0 is included. It means the value of fractional part of x can be 0 also but can never be 1. So here we have open bracket with 1 and a closed bracket with 0. I hope you remember the graph of fractional part of x. In last lecture we did it. Since box x is an integer and integer is generally denoted by capital I, or we can also denote it by capital Z. It's a symbol of integer. So box x can be represented by capital I or capital Z. I hope it is clear. If x is an integer, then fractional part of x will be 0. Let us take an example. If I ask you what is the fractional part of, let us take any integer in place of x. We are taking x equals to 3. Then what will be the value of fractional part of 3? Of course, there is no any fractional part we can see clearly here. So answer is 0 of course. So that is what we are trying to say over here. Got it? 3. Now property 3. Property 3. If we have box of box x. Now we have double box here. Box. Then inside again we have box. Got it? Since box x is an integer itself, box x is an integer itself. Okay, let's understand it by taking an example. If I ask you what is the value of box 4, what will you say? Answer is 4 of course. Here we have 4, here we have 4. Got it? It means if I say box of integer, it is an integer. So this is nothing but an integer. It's an integer. So answer will be integer itself. I hope it is clear. Now if we have fractional part of fractional part, fractional inside fractional, okay. Then we can remove the outer fractional bracket, outer curly brackets. What does it mean? Since this is what fractional part in means this is something like point something like 0.17 if I say, then what will be the answer of fractional part of 0.17? This will remain 0.17. So whatever we have written over here, same thing is written here. Is it clear? So we have fractional part here. So here also we have fractional part. I hope you got the point. Now if we have fractional part of box x, inside fractional part we have box x, and since we know that box is nothing but an integer and integer, fractional part of integer is 0. Fractional part of integer is 0. If I say what is the value of fractional part of 4, this is of course 0. So this is what is written here. I hope it is clear. Now if we have box of fractional part, since it's a fractional part, that is the value of this lies between 0 and 1. Then if x lies between 0 and 1, the value of box will be of course 0. Got it? I hope it is clear. Now next property is box x. Box x is always greater than x minus 1 and less than equals to x. So remember this property. Let us try to explore it more. Now what if I say x belongs to integer? Let's suppose x is let's say 5. then box of 5, this will be 5. So here we have equal to sign. Got it? Now if x is not integer, here x is an integer, and we take example like x equals to 5. When x is not an integer, so let us take an example. Let's say x is equals to 3.5. Then the value of 3.5 is what? The value of box 3.5 will be 3. So what's happening over here? So box x, so this value box 3.5, box 3.5 is less than equals to, same x is written here, you can see. So this is less than equals to 3.5, and this is what? Greater than 3.5, 3.5 minus 1. 3.5 minus 1 means 2.5. This will be greater than 2.5 but less than 3.5. This is what actually we are trying to saying here. Got it? I hope it is clear. Why we are subtracting 1 over here? You can see it like if we move towards left by 1 unit. Suppose we have x over here and we move 1 unit towards left, we will definitely get an integer. At a distance of 1 unit, we will definitely get an integer. Take any value of x, take any real value of x and start moving 1 unit towards left. Alright, whenever we move towards left, in case of box we move towards left, we will definitely get an integer on the left hand side. Same in the case if we move towards right, we will definitely get an integer within 1 unit distance. But in case of box, we move towards left. So we will move towards left. Here we have x, move 1 unit towards left. So that is x minus 1. Then box x will be somewhere between x and x minus 1. Got it? For example, let's suppose this is 3.5. If we move 1 unit here, that is 2.5. So in between 2 and 5, we will definitely get a 3 over here. This is box 3.5. Got it? So this is the property. I hope it is clear. Fair enough. Now next property is something like, if I say what is the value of box 4.2. So in here x is what? 4.2. The value of box 4.2 is, of course, no doubt is here 4. If I say what is box minus 4.2, this is of course minus 5. On the left hand side of minus 4.2, integer just left on minus 4.2 is what? Minus 5. Got it? Now if we add 4 and minus 5, we get minus 1. Got it? Now if we take box 7.3, answer is 7 here, of course. On the left hand side of 7.3, integer just left on 7.3 is what? 7. And box minus 7.3 will be minus 8. If we add, we get minus 1 here. Take one more example, box 5.4. Of course, this is equals to 5. Box minus 5.4. Of course, this is equals to minus 6. If we add, we get minus 1. So what's happening over here? In general, we can say box x plus box minus x is equals to minus 1. You can see minus 1, minus 1, minus 1. So in general, we are writing box x plus box minus x is equals to minus 1. But observe one thing. The examples we have taken over here is x, this is x, this is x. Here x is not an integer. Got it? So sum is equals to minus 1 when x is not an integer. Clear? So this property holds when x is not an integer. So remember this property. This is important one. Now what if x is an integer? Box 4 value is 4. Box minus 4 value is minus 4. If we add, we get 0. Box 6 is 6. Box minus 6 is minus 6. If we add, we get 0. Box 8 is 8. Box minus 8 is equals to minus 8. If we add, we get 0. Got it? So in journal, we can write box x plus minus box minus x. This is equals to 0 when x is what? An integer. When x belongs to integer. So remember this property. This is very important property. This will help while solving questions. Next property. If we have fractional part of 3.7, it is clearly visible. Here fractional part is what? 0.7. Fractional part of minus 3.7. So in case of minus, what will we do? Subtract 0.7 from 1. So 1 minus 0.7, we get 0.3 here. Got it? Now if we add 0.7 plus 0.3, we get 1 here. Now if we take 5.8, fractional part of 5.8 is what? 0.8. It is clearly visible here. In case of minus 5.8, 1 minus 0.8, do 1 minus 0.8, that is 0.2. If we add, we get 1 here. So in journal, we can say that by observe the pattern, and in journal we can derive result, that is fractional part of x plus fractional part of minus x. Here this is x, this is minus x, this is x, this is minus x. Got it? So we can say in journal, fractional part of x plus fractional part of minus x, this is equals to 1. I hope it is clear. This is when x is not belongs to integer. When x is not an integer, this property holds. Got it? So remember this. What if x is an integer? If x is an integer, let us take an example. Fractional part of 3 is an integer here. So fractional part of 3 is what? 0. Fractional part of minus 3 is 0. If we add, we get 0. Fractional part of 5 is 0. Fractional part of minus 5 is 0. If we add, we get 0. Got it? So in general, we can say fractional part of x plus fractional part of minus x equals to 0 when x is belongs to integer. When x belongs to integer, this property holds. I hope it is clear so far. Whatever we have studied, I think you are getting my point. Next property, box x plus minus I. I is what? Integer here. Box x plus minus integer. So in this case, we can take out integer with sign. Whatever sign is plus or minus with sign, take it outside the box. So we can write box x plus minus integer. For example, if we have box 7.3 plus 5. So we can take out 5 with plus sign outside the box. So plus 5 here. And box 7.3 is what? 7 plus 5 is what? 7 plus 5 is 12. Now if we first add 7.3 plus 5 is what? 12.5, and box of 12.5 is 12. So you can match the answer. Here we get 12 and here also we get 12. Got it? So hence verified. So we can take it out. This property is valid. So remember this. Now if we have something like this, box integer into x. So in this case, in case of multiplication with an integer, we cannot take out integer outside the box here. So if we write integer into box x, then this will be obviously wrong. Why it is so? We can verify it. Let us take I equals to 10. It is an integer. Got it? And let us take x equals to anything like 0.2. So 10 into 0.2 we get 2 and box of 2 is 2. So left hand side is equals to 2. Got it? And on right hand side, I is what? 10 and box of 0.2 is 0. So 10 into 0 is 0. So you can clearly see left hand side is not equals to right hand side. So therefore this property does not hold. Therefore we are writing I box I into x not equals to I into box x. Remember this, in case of multiplication with an integer, we cannot take out I or integer outside the box. Whereas in case of plus minus integer, we can take out integer outside the box with sign, whatever the sign is. One more thing you can remember, you can memorize box x plus y. X plus y. If we write this is equals to box x plus box y, then this is of course wrong. Why it is wrong? We can verify it. Let us suppose x is equals to 0.2 and y is equals to 0.9. So on left hand side 0.2 plus 0.9, this is 1 point something, and box of 1 point something will be 1. So on left hand side we get 1, whereas on right hand side 0.2, box of 0.2 is 0, box of 0.9 is 0. So on right hand side we have 0, left hand side we have 1. This is not equal. Got it? So left hand side is not equals to right hand side, you can see, hence not verified. So therefore this property does not hold. So remember this. Let's move on to the another property. Next property, that is property number 9. If we have fractional part x plus integer, fractional part x plus integer. So here if we remove I, it does not make any difference. Got it? For example, if I say fractional part of x plus 5, we can remove 5 from here. Got it? Why it is so? Look, integer does not have any contribution to the fractional part. Like if we take example like 3.2 plus let us take any integer, let's say 5. Now we have to find fractional part of this. So fractional part first we add it, so we will get 8.2 and the fractional part is what? 0.2. So this 0.2 has come from this value. Got it? This is x and this is integer. So we can remove this integer. Got it? I hope it is clear. So this is the property, fractional part of x plus integer. Whereas in case of box, what we did, we took out integer out of the box. But in case of fractional part, it is not so. So remember this. So we cannot take out 5 outside the fractional part. This will be wrong, of course. So remember this, memorize this, important one. Now if we have fractional part x plus y, again this will be not equals to fractional part of x plus fractional part of y. We cannot take a fractional part of x and a fractional part of y individually and sum that. For example, if we write x equals to 0.2 and y equals to 0.9 and we add, this is 1 point something, and fractional part of this 0.2 and 0.9, this will be 1.1, and fractional part of 1.1 will be 0.1. Got it? And the fractional part of 0.2 is 0.2. Fractional part of 0.9 is 0.9. Now add, we get 1.1. So you can clearly see left hand side is not equals to right hand side, hence this is not verified. Got it? So if we write fractional part of x plus y equals to fractional part of x plus fractional part of y, this will be wrong. So therefore what will we do? Not equals to. Got it? In case of multiplication with integer, again in this case also, in case of fractional part, the same property we did in case of box. In box also we could not take out I integer outside the box. Same property holds here. We cannot take out integer outside the fractional part. Got it? For example, let's say integer is 5 and x is 1 by 5. Now multiply integer into this, we get 1, and fractional part of 1 is what? 0. And here integer is what? 5, fractional part of 1.5. fractional part of 1.5, this will remain 1 by 5. So here we get 1. Got it? So you can see left hand side is 0, right hand side is 1. So left hand side is not equals to right hand side. So therefore this is not equals to I into fractional part of x. I hope it is clear so far. Whatever we have studied, you got it. Next property, let's move on to the next property. If I say what is the value of box 1.2, now you can easily tell this is equals to 1, 1.31, this is 1, 1.78, this is 1. It means that whatever the value of x between 1 and 2, 1 is included, outcome is always constant, that is 1. Got it? So if I ask you box here, it will be something. So I am putting a question mark over here. Box of question mark is 1. Then what will be the value of this question mark? This question mark will belongs to 1 to 2. Closed bracket with 1 and open bracket with 2. Got it? This question mark can be 1 and between 1 and 2 anything. Got it? Now since we know that box x, it's an integer, this is an integer, positive or negative. Integer can be positive or negative. Then x belongs to I plus 1. What does it mean? If I say box x is equals to 7, 7 is an integer, we are taking a positive integer here. Then x will be from 7 to 8. You can visualize this on number line. If box x is 7, box x is what? 7. Then x will be, then let's say 8 is here. Then x can be between 7 and 8. Anywhere between 7 and 8 and 7 also. So that is what we are writing over here. X belongs to 7 to 8. In general, I to I plus 1. With I plus 1, we will put open bracket. With I, we will put closed bracket. Is it clear? I hope it is clear. Now if we have box x equals to 0. If the value of box x is 0, what will be the value of x? The value of x will be lying between 0 and 1. It can be 0 also. Then x belongs to 0 to 1, close bracket with 0, open bracket with 1. Got it? Now if box x is equals to minus 8, now we are taking minus negative integer. Here we write positive or negative integer. Now we are taking an example of a negative integer. If box x equals to minus 8, then x will be lying between, make a number line. Box x is equals to minus 8. Minus 8, it's a value of box x. It means the x will be lying between minus 8 and minus 7. It can be minus 8 also. So that is what I to I plus 1. So minus 8 plus 1 is minus 7. With minus 7 we will put open bracket, and with minus 8 we will put closed bracket. Got it? Now let us take one more example. If box x is equals to minus 3, then I is what? Minus 3. So minus 3. I plus 1. Minus 3 plus 1 is what? Minus 2. With minus 2 we will put open bracket. With minus 3 we will put closed bracket. Got it? So in these examples we write box x equals to integer, positive or negative or 0. Now what if we take box x equals to, let's suppose, 5.8. If I write box x equals to 5.8, now if someone writes according to this rule, x will belongs to 5.8, 5.8 plus 1, that is 6.8. With 6.8 we put open bracket, and with 5.8 we put 5 closed bracket. then this time this will be wrong. Why? Because we said if box x equals to I integer, then this will hold. But here this is not an integer. Got it? This is not an integer. Then why are you applying this result? So in this case, since we know that the outcome of box x is an integer and we are writing box x equals to non-integer. So here answer will be what? No solution. Because it's an integer, it is a non-integer. Integer cannot be equals to non-integer. Can never be equal. So therefore in this case, answer will be no solution. And in mathematics, no solution is also a solution. Why we are saying so? Because in case of objective questions, one of the option will be no solution and that will be the answer. That will be the solution of that question. Got it? So no solution means we can write x belongs to phi, or we can say null set. Phi is also called null set. Got it? Now if I say box x equals to pi, since it is an integer, left hand side is an integer and pi is what? It's an irrational number. So integer cannot be equal to irrational number. So in this case answer is what? No solution, or we can say x belongs to null set, that is pi. Got it? I hope it is clear. If we are getting answer no solution, it doesn't mean that question is wrong. Question is not wrong. Answer is no solution. Got it? Now move on to our next property, that is property number 11. Now inequality comes in picture. If box x is greater than equals to an integer, let's say I, then x will belong to I to infinity. Look here, we have a number line. Let's suppose I is here, it's an integer. Next integer will be I plus 1, then next integer will be I plus 2, then I plus 3, and on left hand side we have I minus 1, I minus 2. These all are integers. Got it? Now we are saying box x is greater than equals to I. Greater than equals to I. It means x can be from I to infinity. Got it? If x is between I and I plus 1, between I and I plus 1, we will get I. If x is between I plus 1 and I plus 2, we will get this integer. If x is between I plus 2 and I plus 3, we will get this integer. Got it? I hope it is clear. Now for example, if box x is greater than equals to 2, if box x is greater than equals to 2, then x will belongs to 2 to infinity and closed bracket with 2, because here we have equal to sign also. Got it? Now box x equals to minus 3. Box x equals to minus 3. So let us try to understand it by making a number line. Minus 3 here. Box x greater than equals to, it means the value of box x can be minus 3 also. So minus 3, this can be box. Then next integer will be greater than integer will be minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, like this. So x can be anything ranging from minus 3 to infinity. Got it? When x is belongs to minus 2 and minus 3, we will get the answer minus 3. When x is between minus 2 and minus 1, we will get minus 2. When x is between minus 1 and 0, we will get minus 1. Got it? We will get all the integers greater than equals to minus 3 when x belongs to minus 3 to infinity. Of course, with minus 3 we will put closed bracket. Got it? Now if we have box x greater than equals to 9, of course 9 to infinity. With 9 we will put closed bracket. if we have box x greater than equals to minus 10, then minus 10 to infinity. Got it? Apply this one, I to infinity. If we have box greater than equals to integer whether it is positive or negative. Got it? Everywhere applicable, the condition is on right hand side we should have an integer, whether negative or positive or 0, whatever. Now if we have box x greater than 9, now pay attention, here we don't have equal to sign. Here we don't have equal to sign. So integer just greater than 9 is what? 10. So we can write this inequality as box x greater than equals to 10 and apply the same concept as we just done above. Got it? Now x will be from 10 to infinity. With 10 we will put closed bracket. Got it? So in general we can say if box x is greater than I, then first we will write box x is greater than equals to I plus 1. Got it? Next integer of I is what? I plus 1 on right hand side. Got it? So then we can put box x is greater than equals to I plus 1. Then x will be belongs to I plus 1 to infinity. With I plus 1 we will put closed bracket. I hope you got what I am saying. Now let us take example box x greater than 20. Now first we will write box x greater than equals to 21. Next integer of 21 on right hand side is 21. Of 20 is 21. Then x will belongs to 21 to infinity. Is it clear? Now we are taking an example when x is not an integer. When x is not an integer. So box is greater than equals to 7.3. So integer greater than 7.3 is what? 8. Yeah, it means box x is greater than equals to 8. Write like this first. Now apply the same concept. X belongs to 8 to infinity with 8 closed sign because we have equal to sign also. Is it clear? Now if we have box x greater than equals to minus 9. Box x greater than equals to minus 9. Then this is an integer. So minus 9 to infinity. With minus 9 we get closed bracket. Now if we have box x greater than minus 9. So pay attention here. This is important one. Negative integer but we don't have equal to sign over here. This is wrong of course. This is not right. Make a number line first. So we have minus 9, minus 8, minus 7, minus 6 like this. So integer greater than minus 8. Integer just greater than minus 8, that is minus 9 is what? Minus 8. Integer greater than minus 9 is what? Minus 8. Got it? So we have to move towards right here. This. Got it? Then x can be from, it means now we can write box x greater than minus 9 to box x greater than equals to minus 8. Now we can apply x belongs to minus 8 to infinity. Is it clear? So of course this is wrong. This is not right. So remove this. So right answer is this, minus 8 to infinity. Got it? I hope it is clear. So in general we have this result I plus 1 if we have integer. So here it is integer. Box x greater than I, then x will belongs to I plus 1 to infinity. With I plus 1 put closed bracket. Got it? So here this is integer, it is negative integer. So if we apply this one, so minus 9 plus 1, minus 9 plus 1 will be minus 8. Got it? Remove this. Apply this one. Minus 9 plus 1 is what? Minus 8 to infinity. So here also we get this answer. I hope it is clear. So make a correction over here. I am saying again and again. Now we have box x less than equals to I is an integer here, then x will belongs to. So integer less than equals to I. Let's say this is integer I. So then x will be, when we will get the value I, then x will be between I and I plus 1. If x is between I and I plus 1, we will get I. Got it? Okay. Understand it by taking an example. If box x is less than equals to 2, if I say if box x is equals to 2, then x will belongs to 2 to 3. Got it? Then x will belongs to 2 to 3. So this 3 is nothing but 2 plus 1. Got it? So in this case, if we have I, so on right hand side we will get I plus 1. Is it clear? That's what is written over here, I plus 1, and with I plus 1 put open bracket. Here also we have open bracket. Then since less than, we have sign of less than, so move towards left. Got it? I hope it is clear. So we need all the integers which are less than equals to 2. That is 2, 1, 0, minus 1, minus 2. If box x is 2, x will be between 2 and 3. If box x is 1, then x will be between 1 and 2. If box x is 0, then x will be between 0 and 1. If box x is minus 1, x will be between minus 1 and 0. If box x is minus 2, then x will be between minus 2 and minus 1. Is it clear? So you can see x is on left hand side of 3. Got it? Like this. In interval, if we want to write, we can write like this, x belongs to minus infinity to 3. Is it clear? With 3 we will put open bracket, and with infinity, whether it is plus infinity, minus infinity, we never put closed interval. Got it? I hope it is clear. Closed bracket, I mean, not interval. Now if we have box x less than equals to minus 5, box x less than equals to minus 5 means minus 5 plus 1 we get minus 4. With minus 4 put open bracket, and on left we have minus infinity with open bracket. Got it? If we have box x less than 7, now pay attention, here we have less than, we don't have equal to sign here. Got it? So box means integer. Integer less than 7 means we can write it like box x less than equals to 6. So whenever we have box x less than 7, first write like this, box x less than equals to 6. Got it? It means in general, if I say box x is less than integer, so then first write box x is less than equals to I minus 1. Got it? Then the same process as we have done above. Now from here we can say x belongs to minus infinity to 1 plus 6 plus 1, that is 7 with 7 open bracket, with minus infinity again open bracket. Is it clear? Now if we have box x greater than 9, box x greater than 9, this one we have already done, I think. Yes, we have done this. Move ahead. This one we have done. Okay. Now if we have box less than 5, less than 5 means first we will write like this, box x less than equals to 4, because integer just less than 5 is what, 4. So here we can put equal to sign. Now the same process, x will belongs to minus infinity to 4 plus 1, that is 5. Got it? You can understand it by making a number line. So this is number line. So integer just less than 5 is what? 4. So this is 4. Now if box x is 4, then x must be between 4 and 5. Got it? Then x must be between 4 and 5. If we want box x equals to 3, if we want box x equals to 3, then x will be between 3 and 4. Got it? If we want x equals to 2, then box x equals to 2, then x will be between 2 and 3. So you can see x belongs to minus infinity to 5. Got it? 5 is not included, therefore we have hollow circle here. So minus infinity to 5 with open. Got it? If we have box x less than minus 7, so box means integer, and integer less than minus 7 means integer just less than minus 7, just less than minus 7 is minus 6. So we can write box x less than equals to minus 6. We need all the integers less than minus 7, means minus 6, minus 5, then minus 4, minus 6, minus 5. What we are writing? No, this is not true. This is not true. Make a correction here. Make correction here. On left of minus 7, left make minus 6 here, minus 6, minus 5. Here we have minus 8, minus 9, minus 10, minus 11. Got it? So there is a mistake. Do correction. So integer just left on minus 7. Just left less than minus 7 means minus 8. So it should be minus 8. Got it? Minus 8. If we want box x equals to minus 8, if we want box x is equals to minus 8, then x must lie between minus 8 and minus 7 with minus 7 open bracket. Got it? It is clear? So minus 7, x must be between minus 8 and minus 7. If we want box x equals to minus 9, then x must be between minus 9 and minus 8. If we want box equals to minus 10, then x must be between minus 10 and minus 9. So we can see what's happening over here. X belongs to minus infinity to minus 7. Minus 7 is not included. Got it? I hope it is clear. Therefore answer is minus infinity to minus 7 open. So make correction over here. This is again I am writing, this is minus 8, and make this correction here. Now if we have box less than equals to 3.4, so then integer just less than 3.4 is what? 3. 3.4 is somewhere between 3 and 4. Integer less than 3.4 is what? 3. If box x, we want box equals to 3, then x will be between 3 and 4. Got it? If we want box equals to 2, we want all the integers less than 3.4. All the integers less than 3.4 means 3, 2, 1, 0, minus 1, minus 2, like this. Got it? If we want box 2, then x must be between 2 and 3. If we want box 1, then x must be between 1 and 2. Is it clear? It means x will be lying, x belongs to minus infinity to 4. With 4 we have open bracket. Is it clear? One more example. If we say box x is less than equals to minus 8.3, again make a number line. If you do question by making a number line, you will never do any mistake. Got it? So you should have better practice on this, on number line. Now integer just less than minus 8.3, that is minus 9. Minus 8.3 somewhere between minus 9 and minus 8, let's suppose it is here. Then integer just less than minus 8.3 is minus 9. Now if we want box minus 9, then x must be between minus 9 and minus 8. Minus 8 is not included. Got it? Then if we want box minus 10, we want all the integers less than minus 8.3. So minus 9, minus 10, minus 11, minus 12, like this. If we want box minus 10, then x must be between minus 10 and minus 9. Got it? So what's happening here? We are tending towards minus infinity. So how will we write question? X belongs to minus infinity to minus 8, and of course minus 8 is not included. So minus infinity to minus 8, open. Hope it is clear. Now, so this is all about properties. At last we have important note here. It's a graph of fractional part x. In last lecture we also did it. Again I am saying, remember this. What you have to remember, the equations of these lines. This is the graph, and this line is y equals to x. Then it is passing through 1, so x minus 1, passing through 2, x minus 2, passing through 3, x minus 3. Here minus 1, this line will be x plus 1, x plus 2, x plus 3. Got it? So you can see the graph of fractional part of x is what lies between 0 and 1. 1 is not included. So that is what we are saying. Fractional part x belongs to 0 and 1. 0 is included, 1 is not included. This is what range. In last lecture we also told you range of fractional part of x is what? 0 to 1. If we talk about domain is something that the graph, that portion covered by graph on x-axis. So entire x-axis is covered by the graph. Therefore in this case domain will be real number. So memorize this. This is very important. This will help you in solving question. So that's all for this lecture.